Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this session, inshallah, we will be learning how to create submission assignments with different kind of gradings. One is plain grading, where you can just give total marks to the students and add some remarks for their submission. And also another way of grading, which is rubric, and we'll learn how to create that rubric as well, inshallah. So let's go to retest area, and this is where we are doing our practice as well. If you have to create anything for training purpose, then inshallah you can. Please feel free to create under this label, online exam section, and make sure that you keep it hidden so that it's not open for the students. All right, assignments. So we'll pick this activity. So first we went to add an activity or resource, just like we did it for a juz or a label in the last training session. And now assignments. And I would request you all to mute your mics inshallah. Meanwhile, we are doing this. I'm recording it as well, so inshallah there's no noise. All right, so here we'll add the name of an assignment, and I'm going to create under my name so that we can differentiate. Submission plain grade. I'm leaving the description section, and usually we have the note for the students that what they are required to submit. Whatever teacher sends as instruction, if there's a PDF with the instructions, we usually upload it here in this area. We just drag and drop that PDF. For example, Sira project, there was a document prepared for prepared by the teacher, and we just uploaded it here. So it will show up on the main page, and students can open it and see what are the instructions from the teacher. And we can also give them instructions about upload a PDF and have your name and your group's name if it's a group assignment and everything. If it's an individual assignment, then we tell them that this is an individual. So the description will be according to what we want them, and we do not want to check this, otherwise it will show up on the main page. And we only want this description to appear when the students open this certain assignment. Availability, it depends on you if you want to enable these settings or not. When it is enabled, it is available for 1 week or 1 month. Often submissions require longer time, longer projects, so sometimes it's 1 month, sometimes it's 2 months, depending on the teacher how much time they're giving them. 2 weeks, it could be 1 week as well, depending on the teacher, how big the assignment is, how small it is. Usually projects are given more time, so you will be changing here accordingly the dates as we did for the test. And submission type will be file submission, and how many files they can upload, only one. And if we want to limit it with the online text, if you select this online text, that way instead of file submission they will have a text box, and they can type their text there, and we can enable a limit. If we wanted to 300 words or 500 words, we can do that, but we usually do file submission. So I'm going to uncheck online text, file submissions, then maximum number of uploads 1, and this is the limit, if we can, how much we can allow, and this is 1 MB is the biggest one, so we usually keep it 1 MB. Feedback type will be what? It will be comments, feedback files. That means system will allow us to download that PDF that students uploaded on our portal. It is different from other portals. Canada portal, they also have the ability to open the PDF within the portal and mark it, and it's not available on US. So we can download the PDF, we can edit the PDF, add some notes, marks, and everything, and then we can upload it back if we enable this feedback files. And this really doesn't matter. Offline grading worksheet. This is again has to have to do with the comment line. Should be yes, if we want to have the comment line there. It will work for the total comments when we are returning them with the file. There will be also comments that we can give them. Submission settings. Require students click submit. No, we don't care about any of this, and we don't even have to accept it. this has always remained like this. So they can actually, we usually don't do anything here. There's only one thing that students can delete, and their first file, and they can upload a new one, and all the students can do that. If this is allowed in groups, then it did not work as of those groups that they are certainly in. But I wanted to try this part and haven't done it fully on all the assignments yet. But inshallah, if it's a group submission, the purpose is that if we upload one person's marks, it should show. If we upload marks of the leader, then it should show in all the group members, because that's how the group marks work. That there's one submission, everyone is getting marks out of it, whoever participated. But if we enable this, then it will give 2 marks to all those students who did not participate, because sometimes we require the students to update. Some students are active and they are participating, some students they don't even participate. So we only add marks manually to every student's marks, because whoever participated. And I request all the students, mention the names of all the students only who participated in the project. Those who are inactive and you kept complaining, students usually complain about those students, then don't put their name in the project. Notifications, we don't really do anything. Grades, this is something relevant. How we are returning them, it should be points. Marks will be in the points, not a scale. And how many maximum marks a certain assignment has. So if this assignment has 50 marks, then it will be 50. If this assignment has only 10 marks, 20 marks, 25 marks, so we will be changing it here. Grading method will be simple direct grading. That means we can just simply give them marks right then and there. But if we want to create a rubric, then we have to select rubric here. We are going to keep it simple direct grading right now, and then we'll create another file and we'll do that inshallah in the next set. And grade category, it has to do how it will appear in the file, and Shazi showed that earlier in the training as well. So if we have created a head for a certain subject and you want it to appear under fiqh of Saum or fiqh of Tahara or fiqh of Hajj, then we can categorize it even here. So if we select it, it will show under fiqh of Hajj inside the grade book. For now, I'm going to keep it uncategorized because this is just a training thing. I don't want it to show anywhere. Actually, I had extras. Mock/extras. So I'm going to place it under mocks and extras. And if you create anything for the purpose of training, make sure that you also select the category for a test and assignment and everything. That way it will show up under that certain area that is already hidden, and it's separated, and it does not distract the total of anything. Disturb the total of anything, not distract. Grades to pass, usually it's 80%, so the total is 8, so passing grade should be 8. And we don't do blind marking, this is just relevant everything. Common module settings, it will show it, let's hide it, we don't want the students to see it. And restrict access is usually used for retest. Save and display, we'll do that later inshallah in another training session when we are doing other extra stuff. So that's save and display. It will show us the simple grading method one, and that usually you have seen it probably for the students. All right, so see, this is what it's showing because I didn't give any description, so it's nothing here. But if I had a file uploaded, the file would be here and the description would show up here right at this spot. And it is for all participants, and there we can go view grade all submissions. It will have a list of all the students that we can grade. And if we go to edit grade, then it will give us a simple plain grade method. We can just give them marks here out of 10 and add some comments. And if the file was like a project and I downloaded and I edited a PDF, I can simply drop it here and save it. save changes, and then student will not be notified because it's hidden, right? This has an option. Usually it notifies the student, it says yes, but if you do not want the student to be notified, then you have to change it to no. And usually it is enabled. Right now it's gray because this assignment is hidden. Then I can save and save changes, and it will take me to the next one, but I'm going to cancel it. And this is that plain grading. Now I'll go ahead and show you how to create I'm going to actually show you how to duplicate an assignment or a test and how to change it. So I'm going to use this same thing, same assignment, and I'll duplicate it and I'll change it into a rubric. So retest, click on it. I'll go to the same area that we are in. I don't know why system is really slow and it's taking time. Okay, alhamdulillah. So here I created Nosheen submission plain grade, and so Sabah has also created it. I can see right here. All right, so I'll go to edit of this assignment, and it's still waking up. I don't know why the system is really slow. Maybe because of the join me and also the video screening, video recording. So I'll duplicate it. It will take some time to duplicate. So the whole area will go gray, and you will see this processing sign here, kind of in the middle there. Okay, it's already duplicated. It was quick, alhamdulillah, because it's empty. So when you're duplicating a test that already has even one question, it will take way longer. But if your test, you just created a test, for example, for the retest, those who are creating retest, they should have no question in it. If it has no question in it, it fast. It goes, the duplicate goes fast. So this is the one, so this is original, and the duplicate will also always show in the bottom. Here you go to edit and edit settings. And if you want to add some description, you can add description, add a file similarly, and change the dates. Same thing, repeated, file submission. Now this duplicate, the benefit of this duplicate is that it has already all those details. If we had uploaded a file of description, it will carry everything from the previous one. So if it's a similar just test and it has everything same in descriptions and everything same for the file upload, usually it's not. File upload you need to change. You can delete it. You can select the file and delete it. It will open up and you can, this is showing me to upload because there's nothing right now, but if there is a file and you click on the file, it will show you the option to delete, and you can delete that, and the dates will already be there. All the settings that we selected, file submission, one upload, everything, feedback type, see the feedback files and comment is already yes. And then we have to go to only grades because everything is already there from the previous assignment that we set. See how the maximum grades are already 10 and everything is there. The category is also there. That's the ease of duplicating something. Simple grading, we'll change it to rubric, and we'll leave it hidden in the common module settings, and we'll save and display. You'll see how it will, instead of taking us to the main screen, it will take us to a screen where we can make a rubric. We can create a rubric, or we can use a previously created template. And if you have a dot, usually it doesn't work for everything. You have to kind of go from the blank. Only sometimes for tajweed assessments, if you have already created a tajweed assessment, then this one helps if you're using the same criteria over and over again. But often we we are increasing from term 1, we are only marking them on few areas, and then we keep going advanced as we teach them more rules. So define new grading from scratch. This is what I will show you, and you can pick a template as well. So name of the template, name of this rubric. So usually I just name them according to what I am creating it for. So for example, it's at the R test, the oral for morning, evening, morning and evening. Then I can add a description. Usually I just add a description that students will see marks here, but this is a rubric. We don't even have to add description here for that. This is for us, actually the students might not see it. Here we can add levels, as many as we want. So we can duplicate this one. For example, the R test will have the R number 1, the R number 1, and it will actually have major mistakes and minor mistakes. Major mistakes. Alright, so I have the number 1, major mistakes. Here I will have, so we'll actually, first we have to set the points. Usually we'll start with the maximum. So if major mistakes are total 0.75, and this will be no mistake, or you can just leave this blank as well. Probably you might not be able to leave it blank, you might have to give some criteria. So 0.25 usually we deduct, so it will be 0.50, and it will be 0.25, and this will be 1 mistake, 2 mistakes, 3 mistakes, and this will be 0 with 4 or more mistakes. So 1, I'm just going to type 1 and 2, 3 or more mistakes. I don't need this, so I'll just delete it. Yes. So we already have 0 mark. We must have 0 mark, otherwise it will create a problem. Now what we can do is we can duplicate the same one. So by clicking on this button, it will duplicate the same thing that I have already created. You can create and add a new criteria as well. If you add a new criteria, it will be completely blank. You can move it up step by step. I'm going to delete this one, and I will change it to the R number. Actually, I keep it door number 1 and make it into minor, because moving it up and down is a lot more challenging unless we do one at a time. Okay, so minor mistakes have total 0.50, and it will go by every minus 0.125 marks that I have to calculate. It's not on the top of my head. Let me calculate that as well. We do have time, alhamdulillah. Minus 0.125, it will be 0.375, and next one will be 0.25, which is already there. This one will be 0.125, and we'll delete this one and add a level number 4, 4 and more, or more, so it will be 0. So here, so similarly we will create this for every dua, and depending on the marks we will be changing this. It will be different. The Tajweed test we usually have different. Makharij, do you have a message for me? Usually we recommend doing this 0, 4 or more mistakes, because we just give them 0 marks for that. If a student has memorized and they want to take a retest, we will just open the same rubric, give them marks for the dua, then they got tested. Otherwise we can just give them 0, 4 or more mistake, 3 or more mistake, because it's just adding into a work that add another level and say if not memorized. The marks, we just focus on marks. But if you really want it to be perfect and you want, and actually By selecting this, you will have a box here in front of every level. You can, every criteria will have a box here, and you can say student did not memorize the dua, and you just select the 0 points. And this will just go regardless because of your message here. And later on, whoever opens the criteria, they'll know, okay, yes, this is what happened when the student was originally tested. And we do not add another level. Either you can add a level, and you can say student did not memorize the dua and give it 0 points. Not memorized. That's up to you. Completely flexible. Let's see. All right, so you can either add a level, or you can just leave it to the comment, because every criteria will have a comment area here. Okay, alhamdulillah. All right, so let's move on. And here usually I leave it checked because I want the students to know how we are grading them. It really changes their attitude towards the law if they pay attention and they open the criteria. The criteria is usually available to them to see from before, which is a good idea. They'll get good grip of where they will be deducted marks on, and then even after they see it, it will be there. And during evaluation they can see it. Those being graded, meanwhile it's being graded, they can see it, so they can see throughout how it's being. Usually students are not smart, then they're not always over there. Their focus is usually the test during the evaluation, but we leave them all checked. And save as draft or save rubric and make it ready. It does not make much of a difference that I have noticed. Even the one, any rubric that you created yourself, it will show as a template for you. So all the rubrics that I have created in a certain course, they show up to me. So I don't even save as draft anymore. Save rubric and make it ready. It might make some difference to maybe at the level of the course creator, but not at the level of course in charge, because whatever I've created in a course, it's there. Usually the rubric is there for me. Here it is, and alhamdulillah, we can go and check, view, and grade all submissions, and it will. You all know how to do that and how it looks. And go to edit, and when you click on edit and grade, you will see that it will show you the criteria, and there you can mark the student. This is what I was talking about. Oh wow, why did not show up? Major mistakes. I added that criteria, right? No, did I delete it? Not memorized. I didn't delete it, but why didn't say? That's amazing. Oh, it's here. Not memorized. See, it's flipped, and I don't like it though. But it's okay, inshallah. So if student has 3 or more mistakes, this will be showing up. We can select this one, and if they don't memorize, we can select this one. Or we can simply have this one and completely disregard no mistakes, or 4 or more mistakes, and we can say not memorized. And we can add comment, feedback here, final feedback, or feedback for everything for each dua. We can have separate feedback, or we can just give them, if a student was really good and they have done all the duas really good, you don't have to comment for every dua. You can just come here and give them a final comments. If it was a project, Sira project, and you have something on the paper as well for them, then you can upload the file here. Also comment. Also the rubric will also be there to grade that. If you had different criteria, you know how sometimes they are presenting and we are checking them on 4 or 5 different areas, and then you'll save changes, and this will be enabled for you to notify the student or not. And I'm going to cancel because we're not going to save anything in it. All right, so that's all, alhamdulillah. And do you have any questions that are related to making it before I close the recording, screen recording? I think there's no question. Okay, inshallah, we'll stop the recording.